It was a very light throw. Come on, Kurt. Like, I've never done this before. And Kurt's going to get mad if he's watching because it was a nice, the placement was great. Just, you know, wasn't great in execution. But things are looking up, guys, because it's Good Morning Football weekend. And we are here with you today, taking you through all the games, all the storylines. I'm Colleen Wolfe with Michael Robinson, D'Angelo Hall, and Mike Garafolo.
Yeah, yes. Mike Garafolo. He's got one question. Will this be in the Kurt Warner biopic? I'm not sure if that's going to make the final cut or not.
I think it should, and you guys can tweet us who should play my role in the huge movie, because I think that that's something that everyone is wondering about this morning. All right, let's get it going here as we I don't know what you guys said. Hey, let's start the hour looking at the big game on Sunday night. Packers at Niners, two teams that think they can win the NFC. Green Bay with a game for the haters last week got the dub, while the Niners are 2-0 with one of the most complete teams in the league. Okay, so also their running backs are a little hurt right now, but that includes the quarterbacks here. Let's go. This will be the third head-to-head meeting for Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy G. The first two didn't go the MVP's way. Garafolo's distant cousin, 2-0, with a much higher yards per attempt and passer rating. So let's chat this one out. Both offenses have similarities. We know Kyle Shanahan and Matt LaFleur, they work together in Washington. So Mike Robb, what do you see when you watch these two offensive schemes?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to be looking at this game, and I'm literally going to be looking at both offensive schemes. They both come from this Shanahan tree, and D-Hall, you know what I'm talking about. Very much outside zone running, inside zone running, and being explosive in the play-action pass game. But both of these coaches have very unique ways in how they get to their plays. When you look at Coach Shanahan, he uses a lot of motion shifts to create leverage in the run game, and it's a very tough run game to defend because of all those motions and shifts. Gives you a ton of stuff to think about during the week. In my opinion, Coach LaFleur, Matt LaFleur, the head coach and the play caller for the Green Bay Packers, where he makes his bones is the passing play design after the play action calls, right? So the fact that he can go deep, he can design plays, deep crossers, put Davante Adams in the slot, really utilize the strengths of Davante Adams off of that play action. So for me, every time I see these guys play each other, talk about Matt LaFleur and Coach Shanahan, which has only been 3 times, and Shanahan's, up 2-1 on him. Whenever I watch him, there's always some type of a cool concept that comes out of it that oftentimes most coaches try to replicate going forward in the season. This is going to be a battle of the brains here, guys. Watch out for it.
Yeah, M-Rob, it's funny you talk about those two offensive coordinators, because I'm going to point the arrow a little bit at Green Bay's new defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, a guy I know very well, and a guy I respect and think is a really, really dynamic football coach. He's been around this game for a long time. He's getting his third opportunity to be a coordinator and to call plays, and for some reason, this Green Bay defense just doesn't look as locked in and in sync as they were in years past. You look at the individual football players, and I mean, they got ballers. 2 really awesome safeties. Obviously, you got Jair Alexander. You're missing one of your dynamic pass rushers in Zadarius Smith, but you still have those capable weapons. But you talked about Kyle Shanahan. His ability to use those motions, right, and make you change. Understanding how Joe Barry plays a lot of his defenses, a lot of things happen with shifts and motions, and it causes guys' assignments to move and change. And so you might initially in one formation have a guy playing an assignment that's perfect for what he does. But because of Kyle Shanahan motions, now he turns into the weak side backer. Now he has to drop in coverage, something that he's not necessarily really good at, right? And so he's not in a prime position to go out and make that play. And you've seen kind of this Green Bay defense give up some plays, right? We thought Jared Goff couldn't throw the football. You watch him against his Green Bay secondary, and for the first half, they were winning that ball game, and it had you nervous like, look, I know we want Aaron Rodgers to get going, but this Green Bay defense has to continue to be who they were too, and that was a championship level defense.
We've seen them give up some plays for sure, and that's not great because Deebo Samuel is lighting up defenses right now. The league's leading receiver, posting a cool 141 yards a game. And Niners Twitter, I'm very aware of his performance last week, but thank you so much for reminding me. I know that we kind of went back and forth because of my game pick last week, but that 40-yard catch to set up the touchdown was beautiful. He told 95.7 The Game that he lined up wrong, so even when he's wrong, he's right, as it turns out. He'll have plenty of chances, I think, this weekend to get after that Green Bay secondary, and you know Kyle Shanahan loves to see it as a former college wide receiver himself.
I'm going to flip it to the other side of the football here, and I'm going to note that Eagles coach Nick Sirianni said he was dragging himself through the mud for a couple of days because a lot of the stuff that he had planned going into the game against the 49ers fell flat, and he was questioning himself and his preparation. I thought he was being a little too harsh on himself. But the point was, and I spoke to some folks down in Philly about this, the Niners threw them some looks that they were not expecting, that they really hadn't game planned for. So defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans was on Robert Saleh's staff, but he's got his own wrinkles, and he's already throwing them in on that Niners defense, and they caught the Eagles off guard. So I'll be interested to see how this Niners defense plays against Green Bay. I did ask what those wrinkles were, and the people in Philly said, shh, no, just in case we see them again, we don't want to let them know specifically what caught us off guard. But that's why Sirianni was beating himself up, because DeMeco Ryans did a fantastic job as defensive coordinator. All right, time to run some hot routes. We got a few quick questions to get you ready for week 3. First one up. Matt Nagy says that Andy Dalton will be the Bears starter when he's healthy. D. Hall, this one's coming to you. Do you agree? Does Andy Dalton get his job back from Justin Fields?
Hey, look, Matt Nagy has already told everyone in the world that when Andy Dalton's healthy, he's going to be the starter. I think Matt Nagy should not box himself into that corner, because if Justin Fields goes out and plays great and he still goes back to Andy Dalton, I can guarantee you, Matt Nagy, you won't have your job. And it's a shame, because I really, really like Matt Nagy. I think he's a creative play caller, and I just like his personality. So, you know, I'm saying no, but, you know, Matt Nagy told us yes.
It's a weird deal, because I'm sure Nagy, part of him wants to be wrong, but part of him also wants to be right, to be like, I told you this is why we're starting Dalton. So let's see how it goes. I'm rooting for Justin Fields. All right, an intriguing quarterback matchup tomorrow in Foxborough. Jameis Winston versus Mac Jones. Mike Robb, which quarterback do you trust more?
I'm going to go with Mac Jones here. I trust Mac Jones in this New England Patriots offense with Damian Harris behind him running the football with this offensive line, and obviously with Bill Belichick coaching him. The kid has been confident. The kid has been decisive, and he's made good decisions with the football. And then when you hear him post-game, he's constantly evolving and trying to get better himself. And Jameis Winston, you know, he looked like Superman in one game, and then he looked like not a superhero in the other. Let's just say that. 113 giveaways since 2015. By far the most in the National Football League. You know damn right I don't trust no Jameis Winston. You got to give me Mac Jones.
Mike Robb, you are not new to Jameis Winston. This is how it goes with him. A little bit up, a little bit down. That's how it's going to be all season long, I fear. All right, Colleen, a little less morbid version of the question that you were asking. Which quarterback retires first? 44-year-old Tom Brady or 33-year-old Matthew Stafford? Not about who's going to live the longest. Which quarterback retires first?
Right. Well, listen, I know I said that Brady would outlive all of us, but that's just one simulation. How about in this one, I'm going to go with Brady, because if he plays until he's 50, that would mean that Stafford would still only be 39 years old. So 39, it's the new 29 in the NFL. Really everywhere. Everyone knows that. Just look at Britney Spears right now. She's back on Instagram better than ever. So I'm going with Brady retires first. All right.
Your turn.
Easy, you are up next. How about this one? There are 7 undefeated teams remaining. Which one do you doubt the most?
I hate this question, because one fan base is really going to be extremely upset with me, and it's by process of elimination, it's the Arizona
Mike
Cardinals.
Garofalo on Twitter.
Oh, stop it. It's not like I'm looking at the Cardinals and I'm doubting what I've seen so far or anything like that. The schedule's just going to get nasty now. They're playing the Rams. Jaguars first. Then they got the Rams. They got the Niners. They're at the Browns. They've got the Packers. The Texans might even make you work for it as well. I think there's going to be some bumps in the road for the Cardinals. They almost lost last week, so maybe that's my reasoning. Who knows? All right. Derek Carr.